Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dorky Dunkleosteus. I am your curator, Carla, and I want to thank you so much for being with me this week. I do want to apologize for not having an episode last week. It's been kind of stressful, as I'm sure everybody knows what's going on in the world. It has affected me here where I am. So before we get into today's episode on the Isle of Skye and the Jurassic Park dinosaurs that they have found in their trackways. Going to give you a little bit of an update what's going on, and also some information as to what you can do to better prepare yourself for COVID-19, and some advice. Well, not advice, but just kind of repeating what, at least in the U.S., the infectious diseases and all those committees and health committees and stuff are suggesting to do. So, all right, so let's get on to it. Okay, so an update from me. My family and I are okay. We are okay. Nobody in my immediate family that I know of or has COVID-19. We're all okay. Also, I'm not an essential worker. I am an archivist for a historic school in Western New York. And so I was working there. I also work as ThinkGeek. I'm not an essential worker, so I have been laid off temporarily. Thankfully, thanks to Andrew Cuomo and other legislators, I do have unemployment right now. So thank you to them. I don't agree with everything that they do, but I'm very, very grateful for that. Where I live in New York, I am under social distancing and kind of a quarantine, and I know that's spelled wrong, but my one program refuses to use a proper spell checker, and I'm a horrible speller. So right now I'm just trying not to go crazy. This is going into my first full week of not working. So I'm hoping to have weekly episodes return. I may have some more streaming going on. I tried streaming some more on YouTube, but the chat keeps shutting down on me, and I have no idea why. So I may move over to Twitch. If I do, it will be under a different name. It'll be under Kaiju Splotch, which is basically my giant geeky name, and what I use mainly online. So we'll get to that, though, in another episode or so. So I've got a lot I can do. And there's been some discoveries. Science is continuing, which is really cool. A little bit on COVID-19 or the coronavirus. So best ways to protect yourself. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with hot water and soap. 20 seconds is about singing the ABCs or the introductory speech to Star Trek. So another thing, try not to touch your face. I'm really horrible about that because of glasses, but try not to touch your face. Social distancing is really important to flatten the curve. What they're talking about in flattening the curve is actually taking a curve that usually goes in China and all of these other places where it spiked very, very quickly. And because it spiked, there was a lot of deaths, and there continue to be a lot of deaths around the world. By flattening that curve, we're going to elongate it, squish down the peak so that our hospitals do not get overwhelmed, our medical can catch up, and all this kind of stuff. This is super, super important. People can have it and be asymptomatic. That happens. A lot of people who are under the age of 20, they tend to be asymptomatic. Asymptomatic meaning they don't have the normal symptoms. They do not have the fever, the cough, the dry hacking cough, the aches. They don't have that. So they could be sick, think it's just a cold or a seasonal allergy, and actually be transmitting the disease, the virus. So stay safe and stay smart. That is my best recommendation. Buy only what you need. Don't hoard like dragons. Obviously you want to stock up generally for 2 weeks. So what is that? 1 package of toilet paper? Think smart. Especially since both of my parents are over the age of 60. And all of us in my family have a higher chance of getting severely sick, and potentially not recovering. And so that's scary. Right now, I'm the one who's doing the shopping for my parents. I will not let my parents go into the stores. Um, so please, just be smart. You don't need 40 packages of toilet paper. Just get what you need, not what everyone thinks you need. And that's really, really important. And for those who are in their, 20s going to spring breaks, fucking hell, stop. You may not get sick. You may be asymptomatic, but you will come in contact with people whose immune systems cannot handle it. This is super important. This is a pandemic. This is a serious thing, and it is scary. It's scary because everyone in my family is susceptible, like pretty highly susceptible. We all have lung issues or underlying comorbidities that could cause really, it could cause death. That I just said it, that we could die from this. Even me, I'm 30, I'm going to be 33 next month. I could potentially die from this because I have other things that are wrong with me. And I'm trying my hardest to do everything that I can to protect my parents, and my sister and my nieces. So please stay safe and stay smart. You don't need to go out and party. Try to limit your grocery shopping to once a week. That's generally what we do. So we kind of figure out, well, generally when it's not an absolute mess hall in the world, we try and, figure we usually do it on, Fridays, Thursdays sometimes, or on the weekend. And we go in, we grab what we need sometimes we'll grab what we need for the month. Especially if we're going to BJ's or something, but other times we'll be just like, oh, we just need another loaf of bread for the week. So we'll get 2 so that way then we can last a little longer. So please, please stay safe, stay smart, wash your hands. If you're not feeling well, and I cannot reiterate this enough, if you do not feel well, stay home. If you feel like you are carrying the virus and that you are coming under the virus, what you need to do is you need to call your medical providers. Tell them you suspect it. Most likely, if you are not having severe symptoms, if you are not having trouble breathing, if you do not have comorbidities that are putting you at a higher risk, they're going to say, stay home and treat it as a very, very serious flu. We do not need people rushing to the ER right now. In fact, that's the last thing we need, because that's flooding the ER. And already we are seeing people flood the ERs and go to the hospital, and they should be staying home unless you cannot breathe. If you feel like you are drowning, which is the biggest and most dangerous symptom of this virus, stay home. Just stay home. Obviously, yes, call your doctor. Say, hey, I'm not feeling well. I've got a fever for, say, 4 days. I've been having body aches and pains. I'm having some trouble breathing, but I'm not serious. I'm coughing a lot. They're probably going to say, stay home, monitor your symptoms. If you get worse, call again and call the ER. Call for it beforehand, because sometimes these ERs, these hospitals are so overwhelmed, they cannot treat people. So please, please, I'm asking you because I care about people who I don't even know. I don't know you. I care about you. I want you to stay safe. I want your families to stay safe. So please, please be smart. Okay. So this is the new episode. So we're talking about the Isle of Skye. I admit I don't have a lot. Like I said, I've been kind of stressed out, but I was able to do a little bit of research on this, and this is really, really cool. So the Isle of Skye is off the coast of Scotland, and it is known for its Jurassic Age dinosaur prints. So this is the Jurassic Age. So this is the middle. This is where you get some of the not as well known, but some of the more interesting dinosaur species. You're not going to get T-Rex or anything like that, but you're going to get some of the smaller theropods. So there have been more dinosaur prints that have been discovered and identified. 50 individual prints have been discovered in new areas on the Isle of Skye, and they've actually believed they have discovered an early Stegosaurid. Now, this is not This is the print. This is a Deltapodus footprint. Deltapodus is the early stegosaurid. This is not like Stegosaurus, like we all know and love, the big platy boy. We actually don't know what this dinosaur looked like, and that is because it is only known from its footprints, except for its feetsies. We know what its toesies looked like generally. So that makes it an ichnogenus, which is an ancient animal that is only known from trace fossils and has no known body fossils. And this is really cool. There's a lot of other things that have been discovered that are ichnogenuses. It's really kind of awesome. There's been burrowing mammals that they have absolutely no idea what they look like. They only know that they have burrows. I believe those are the devil's corkscrews. They're fascinating. These things are really fascinating. It also leaves a whole lot to the imagination. Now, obviously, oh, excuse me. It's a little late tonight. So obviously, we have a few different things that we can actually figure out from just these footprints. One of them is the weight of the animal. Depending on what it is that they stepped in, we can generally figure out if it was a sandy area or a muddy area. We can actually figure out how much pressure it would take to put a footprint so deep or so detailed. This is kind of this is a very rough science, but we can actually figure that out. And we have a general idea of how much it weighed, or at least how much pounds per square inch on its toesies, toesy-woesies, and feetsies, and beans that it's actually putting on. Much else we don't really know. We will get if we have a good trackway of an individual, we can generally figure out its stride, so we can figure out how long it is. We can figure out its weight, and by comparing the footprints to other known footprints of similar types that we actually do know, we can figure out where it fits in the families. Deltapodus, we have no idea what it looked like. And that's kind of exciting because early stegosaurids were weird. They had some really interesting things. They weren't really like the diverse range in the early Jurassic, but they were later in the Jurassic. We wouldn't have anything like Stegosaurus or, oh shoot, what is the name? There's a Chinese Stegosaurid that actually has shoulder blades. We wouldn't see those guys until later. So Deltapodus is kind of a mystery. Hopefully we will find a really cool fossil someday of it, an actual body fossil. So here are my sources. Again, not a lot. It's kind of a small little update, but it's really cool because this actually makes the Isle of Skye one of the best areas to find early dinosaurs and some early sauropods as well. Sauropods are weird. They started really showing up around the Jurassic as well. So the Smithsonian Mag and National Geographic magazines, as well as Wikipedia. You've heard me say it a million times. I love Wikipedia. Gives you a great jumping off point. So yeah, that's the episode for this week. Again, sorry, it's kind of slow. I think next week I'm going to talk about the Wonder Chicken. It's really cool. It was just discovered late last week by the time this video comes out. And it's really kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. So I'll probably do something on the Wonder Chicken and a little bit on birds as well. And that transitionary period between non-avian and avian dinosaurs. So again, thank you so much for stopping by. Remember, stay smart, stay safe, and please keep on digging. Love you all, and see you next week. Bye-bye.